Ayurveda says that to understand the individual and then treat accordingly based upon his prakriti, vikruti, environment, lifestyle, all these have great significant value. And I listened to your talk on YouTube. I think you are talking Ayurveda in a different language. The highly enlightened Master Sadhguru was visiting United States, and I heard from my friend that he is going to visit Ayur Prana. Oh, it was such a moment of joy, bliss and thrill, and we all were excited. And literally when I came out, he came on his motorbike. Gut. Oh my God. Thank you.
I hear you are the torchbearer of Ayurveda here in North America.
Yes, that's what is happening.
Tell us whatever you can speak about Ayurveda. I'm an ignorant person on these things so…
No, Ayurveda is individual's medicine. Ayurveda treats every individual separately. In modern medicine, they do statistical observation, what is common in 100 people. Based upon that normality, they try to judge the individual. But Ayurveda has a unique approach in the sense, pinde pinde matiri bhinnaha, or pinde pinde prakrutiri bhinnaha. So, Ayurvedic approach is more prakriti vikruti paradigm. Perhaps one person will handle aspirin because he is kapha, but pitta person will be very super sensitive to the aspirin, it can create severe reaction. So Ayurveda says that to understand the individual and then treat accordingly based upon his prakriti, vikruti, environment, lifestyle, all these have great significant value. And I listened to your talk on YouTube. I think you are talking Ayurveda in a different language. So if you say, I don't know Ayurveda, that is your greatness, but you are talking great principles of life, which is coming from ancient Vedic wisdom, Rig Veda and Atharva Veda. So Ayurveda is a way of life, living in harmony.
I've read only one Veda, sir, that is this one.
That's correct.
I didn't read anything else. Other four I didn't read because I'm too illiterate for those.
That is Atma Veda. Atma Veda is the mother of all Veda.
Yeah, more a holistic approach is definitely needed. Individual doctors, a few of them are doing it. On the larger level, I don't know where it'll come together because…
Right.
they're moving in divergent ways.
That's also possible.
Because the basic thought process of entirely depending upon technology and everything is kind of an absolute. Well, health is not an absolute thing.
Right.
You may be healthy now, in the next 5 minutes you may not be.
Yeah, it is relative.
It just varies, it's the nature of how life happens. So, this absolute things about you tested my blood in the morning and everything is fine with me, but I may be dead by the evening.
Oh, yeah.
So many people do, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, this absolutism needs to go and we need to look at life with a more holistic and a more gentler approach, which needs lot of
Correct.
cultivation and new kind of civilization. When I say new kind of civilization, right now our idea of civilization is that we dominate everybody and we are civilized. No, idea of civilization is there is no need to dominate anyone, that is civilization.
That is correct.
But unfortunately, we think the other way around. When Mahatma Gandhi was asked by someone, what do you think about the Western civilization? He said, it's a good idea. It is not me, it's him. Because we are misunderstanding domination as civilization. The fundamental of civilization is, there is no need to dominate anyone. It doesn't matter, somebody is weak, somebody is strong, somebody is young, somebody is old, somebody is male, somebody is female. You don't have to dominate anything, even other life around you.
Absolutely.
That's civilization. But right now our idea of civilization is putting a stamp, our stamp on everybody's face. I would like to ask you one question. In the tribal cultures in southern India, plants are identified as masculine and feminine. In Ayurveda, is there such a thing that there are feminine herbs and masculine herbs?
It's very simple, it is based upon Shiva Swarodaya. If you take a leaf, there is a central, that is Sushumna. If you hold, because every leaf has a solar side and lunar side. The shiny side is solar, it takes solar energy, and the rough side is lunar. And if you look at the plant, the stem, and then there are horizontal lines. If you count those sira, that is called sira, if it is even number, so it is a female tree. If it is odd number, it is a male tree. So male-female can be detected through how many horizontal lines are there on the leaf. This is amazing, very fascinating. So this is very interesting that male plant and female plant we can detect just by looking at this. Shiva Swarodaya is another wonderful science of Surya Swara, Chandra Swara, Ida, Pingala, Shushumna. And even in every plant there is a Ida, Pingala, Shushumna. So Ayurveda is really talking about male trees, female trees. Now when I came here, Santa Fe, I was teaching Ayurveda in Santa Fe College of Natural Medicine. And there were so many here Native American herbs, chamomile, comfrey, angelica, even they use Krishna Kamal, which is passion flower. And passion flower is good for high blood pressure. And there is a Hathon Bedi. So we studied, and I wrote a book with one of my friend and student, Dr. David Fraudy, and we worked together. And that book is…
I know Dr. Fraudy, we've had some conversation.
So we were working together in Santa Fe. And that book, we have explained Ayurvedic herbs and Native Indian American herbs. And they have incredible healing power. But we study them through Ayurvedic basic principles of Rasa, Virya, Vipaka and Prabha. And that book is very popular now here. So, male and female energy, Shiva Shakti, Purush Prakriti, Yin Yang, Ida Pingala, it is there in the plant.
I would like to ask you one thing. Right now in Kerala, people are claiming, and we don't know how much of it is true, but I know some of it is true. People have preserved ghee in the earth. They buried it in the earth and kept it for over 100 years. And it seems this ghee has tremendous healing possibilities. Can you say something?
That is called Shata. Shata means 100 years. Shata Varsha, Shata Samvatsaram Ghritam means the ghee is buried in a clay pot into the soil 100 years. Because when ghee is staying in the soil for 100 years, that much long time, some molecular changes happen within the ghee, and that ghee is rich in ojas. It is rich in tejas, and it is rich in prana. Because ultimately the pure essence of vata dosha is prana, pure essence of pitta is tejas, and kapha is ojas. And at cellular level, ojas, tejas, prana, they maintain cellular metabolic activity, cellular intelligence, and flow of communication. Prana is a flow of communication. So at cellular level, ojas, tejas, prana, they are operating and enhancing the cellular life. So this 100 years old ghee, Purana Ghritam, is the best medicine for eczema, psoriasis. Even if you take internally, it can heal peptic ulcer, ulcerative colitis, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, many disorders, even autoimmune diseases. This Purana Ghritam is Sreshtam, Ojas Karam Param. So this promotes Ojas.
So Ayurveda, if it has to become the way of the world, not necessarily in the form that it's come from India, it can happen in so many different ways.
Right.
The fundamentals are right, but how it finds expression in different societies could be different. If it has to happen, first and foremost thing that needs to happen is that there must be a significance for the creation above your own creation.
Correct.
Till then, I don't think people will take to Ayurveda. Everybody is looking for a quick fix of some kind.
And people are doing integration of Ayurveda and acupuncture, Ayurveda and chiropractic, Ayurveda and naturopath, and Ayurveda and allopath. Because Ayurveda is all inclusive, and it doesn't mean that it belongs to India, it can belong to anywhere.
That's why you're getting me into trouble. When I said I said, if… I spoke in the United Nations and I said, if yoga is Hindu, gravity must be Christian. So, even now the people who think they're more Hindu than me are hitting me every day.
Oh, wow.
Because they think I gave up yoga. They don't understand if it has to become universal, its identity has to rise.
Right. When first I came, people saying, oh, this is a Hindu medicine. I said, no.
It's okay.
Yeah, Ayurveda is not only Hindu medicine, it is for every religion, it is beyond religion.
See, how can science be a cultural or a religious identity?
That's
the
limitation, yeah.
So goes for Ayurveda, so goes for yoga.
Yeah.
Unless we understand this, then we will keep it cloistered as we have done for thousands of years. Why Ayurveda has not become the universal system of medicine when it was one of the oldest forms of medicine, with such complexity, over 100,000 formulations.
Right.
Even modern pharmacopoeia doesn't have 100,000 formulations.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it doesn't become because a constipated approach, we've not stepped out and offered.
Beautiful.
It's time Ayurveda, yoga, all these very precious sciences must reach the maximum number of people.
Correct.
It's a very good thing that our Prime Minister pushed for it and now International Yoga Day has been declared. It is not going to achieve everything that we want, but at least it's in the consciousness of the world that yoga is legal.
Yeah.
So I'm saying marijuana, alcohol became legal, marijuana became legal, cocaine will become legal. Time we make yoga and Ayurveda legal. Thank you, sir. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Thank you.
It is the science of longevity and life, because life is a combination of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. It's just the way we manage our energies. So, attending to the fundamental aspects of our life in terms of our cellular health, our glandular health, and skeletal and muscular health, and above all, our energetic health. Taking care of this, you manage your energies in such a way that time will not run out too soon for you. This is Ayurveda, in my understanding of life, okay?